Actually, that's spot on.
It is spot on.
All the competition that try to compete.
Everything is spot on.
There's a reason why running backs aren't picked so high in the draft anymore. They're just not valuable anymore because they get injured so much more than other positions. And we see that with the best of them. We heard he's just different. He's King Henry. He's unstoppable. But all of them are human. And King Henry probably is out for the remainder of the season, at least 6 to 10 weeks. Are the Tennessee Titans over this season? I'm going to start with you, Mia.
A difficult question because you look at the way that they've struggled, even with having Derrick Henry this season. The season wasn't necessarily going the direction a lot of people thought Tennessee would have been going in, and then you face a blow like this that pretty much you runs that offense, if you want to say that. So to face a blow like that, you can possibly hang it up. I mean, they did make a trade for Adrian Peterson, there's fresh legs coming in, but there's older legs coming in. So you kind of wonder how that's going to pan out in that offense over there. I don't necessarily know that I see the Titans going far this year. And it's really unfortunate because they didn't have a solid running back two situation in play to take the load off of Derrick Henry some. And so when you have a dominant running back who has to keep running the ball every down the way that he has to, you open yourself up to injuries like this.
That is true. I feel like without Henry, the offense loses a big piece. It definitely adds more stress and pressure onto Ryan Tannehill. I'm against Tannehill. I've been against him since Miami. A lot of people kind of vouched for him when he moved to Tennessee and was telling me like he's definitely conservative with the ball and things like that. But I honestly feel like now that you lose a big piece in Derrick Henry, if A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are not healthy completely, I feel like they definitely are going to decrease and take a little slight decrease just because Derrick Henry is the focal. When you go into the game, you're focused on stopping Derrick Henry. You're not really focused on stopping Ryan Tannehill, A.J. Brown. They're great weapons, but the team, the offense is predicated around Derrick Henry. So when you lose that, you lose a big piece out of the offense and the focal point and things like that. So the whole game plan has to change for them. But to say that I think they're a playoff team without Derrick Henry, I don't think I could say that just right now because I haven't seen as much from Ryan Tannehill to show me that, okay, they don't need Derrick Henry.
Well, Austin, we're about to find out how much they do need Derrick Henry. And, I have the schedule right here. We look at the next 4 games. At LA, they just got Von Miller, right? They already got Aaron Donald on that defensive line. The Saints come to Tennessee, but they're a really good defense. We just saw them beat Tampa Bay. The Texans come around, so a much easier game, but obviously a division game, so those are mostly tough. And then you gotta go to Bill Belichick in Foxborough and face that defense. So there's these are 4 tough games that they actually have to go into. With one being the outlier, but it's also a division game. We're about to find out how much of their identity they're able to keep. Sans one Adrian Peterson. Signing him, I think it was more of just saying that we are a power-running football team. And, Adrian Peterson is not Adrian Peterson. He ain't all day AP, but he's Adrian Peterson, respectively enough, who can still run the football. No matter how good he may still be, but we know he can still run the football. Obviously, they got Jeremy Nichols behind him. He's going to see some more playing time. And like I also said earlier, you got to expect more out of Tannehill. You need to expect more out of A.J. Brown, who's kind of been coming along the last couple of games. Julio, the injuries are there, but when he's on the field, he's on the field. And so they can still string together some form of offense. They still have a pretty liable defense. We're just about to see, right? And we don't know the effect or how much of the mass effect it is that Mike Vrabel will have to deal with losing Derrick Henry. Obviously, coaches have to coach. Coaches got a scheme. And we're about to find out what the Tennessee Titans are made of.
I definitely agree with all the takes here, but I will say I think the key for the Titans is to almost try to do the same thing. You have to figure out a way. You're not going to be able to run the ball as good as you were. You have to figure out a way to still keep that identity. Because at the end of the day, we all know Tannehill is no Aaron Rodgers, no Dak Prescott, no anybody. We know that he came into the perfect situation where he could hand the ball off and he could do a play action and they're going to be wide open. We see that a lot. It's A.J. Brown wide open. It's A.J. Brown throw it up one-on-one. It's because they're stacking the box for Derrick Henry.
I mean, give him you still got to give him a chance. Like I said,
you got to give him a chance. The chance cannot be let's go into the new age of football and do what everybody else is doing and drop back with Tannehill 60%. It's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen. There's no way. Because if that was the case, Tannehill would have been successful.
No, I agree. Look, Derrick Henry panned out for Tennessee to be much more than any of us actually expected him to be, despite the running back that he was coming out of Alabama. Like I said, go ahead.
When he came out of the second round, Alabama, I thought that was the biggest steal of the draft. I knew nobody could tackle Derrick Henry just off of his film in Alabama. So when he got drafted in the second round, I was like, they're going to actually be grateful in that pick in a couple of years. And it's starting to show. It's really starting to show.
Is it? But is it, though? Because I want to – go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jamar. I'm like, that's the thing. It's a great pick, but you're not doing anything to help your pick be very successful team-wise.
And I think this situation comes back to the age-old question of this last decade. I don't know why I said age-old in this decade, but our quarterbacks, running backs, are they even valuable? Because at any moment they're gone. At any moment they're going to get injured. At any moment they're going to fall off a cliff. At any moment you have to understand that NFL is past the running back age. So the last question I want to ask y'all is: was Derrick Henry even worth that second round pick? If eventually he's going to fall off a cliff. Are we ever going to see?
Yeah, you know why? Because we're sitting here with a whole segment dedicated to the Titans. Because we knew that he was a 2,000-yard rusher and was on his way to 2,000 more yards rushing this season. Because we knew that when the Derrick Henry gets the ball, what that man can do, go 75 yards north and burn every single man on the field. Running backs are easiest to go down because you count on them the most. That is why every team in the league has now devalued running backs, because that's true. Just like most of us have young boys. Instead of growing up, you wanted to be a running back, you wanted to be a quarterback, you wanted to be the star. So a plethora of running backs come through. Yes, you can find one later on the draft and sitting on the street and all that stuff, but there are men among boys at every position. Derrick Henry is that. And you find value, you find the Todd Gurley's were that. What you thought the Saquon Barkley's was going to be, the Zekes. And, those were the ones that set Christian McCaffrey. Those are the ones that set a different aspect. But yes, they get hurt because they do everything.
Yeah.
So, there are reasons for this. They do everything. And I'm going to say this one time. Let me preach for a second. Y'all, let me have this one.
Who's won the Super Bowl with it?
You told a running back, hey, I want you to run the ball, right? The basic thing of a running back, they start running the ball. You say running back can't get on the field, I need you to pass block. All right, running back say, all right, I'm going to start being like a little offense, I'm going to start pass blocking. Now we start asking, say, hey, I want to throw the ball 45 times a game. I need you to be a part of the passing game. Running back got to go start running routes now. We are asking a lot from running backs. Receivers are only meant to do one thing, and two, which they only do less than half. At least half of a game, which is block. But that, the whole entire team, other than the quarterback, is supposed to do that. But what you're asking for a running back is wear and tear. That's why the great ones have 300+ carries every season. That's how they get 6-7 years. Imagine that. On your body. Thank y'all for that moment. Go ahead, man.
In this situation, I just looked at it as Derrick Henry didn't fail the Titans. The Titans failed Derrick Henry. Like Tony just said, you're giving him everything to do, and it doesn't have to be that way if you put the right.
Do a touchdown pass the other day.
Yeah, come on, man. So yeah, he didn't fail the Titans. The Titans have failed him, and they're doing a disservice to themselves by not putting the right pieces around him.
Facts. And to backdoor on me, I'm sorry. It's like you said, it's going to deteriorate his body because we all thinking, hey, this man is like a freak of nature. He the LeBron James of NFL. Like, nobody can tackle him. He's 260, 250, runs a 4.5. But, like, anybody's human. You put so much pressure on the player to do so much for your team that it's going to wear and tear on his body. And then we're going to have these conversations of, was he really valuable? Well, I mean, yeah, because technically he's doing literally everything for that offense. Taking so much pressure off Tannehill. Tannehill doesn't have to throw the ball 30, 40 times a game. He doesn't need to when you got Derrick Henry. You can give him the ball 30, 40 times a game. But it's like a good and bad. Like, yes, we're going to get the production from him that we know we're going to get. But at the same time, how long is that production going to last if I'm asking him to do so much?
I think having a good running back is nice, but I don't think as a centerpiece it will ever be a good long-term investment. I think it's similar to getting a great center in the NBA and having it be your focal point. You're not going to win a championship. But y'all tell us y'all think in the comment section. This is SOS Discussions. We'll see y'all next time.
We thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode. Be sure to check out more shows here on this YouTube page, such as SOS Discussions or My Point Exactly. And most of all,
keep watching Spot On Sports!
It's a new wave of sports that's sweeping the nation. We're not just accurate, it's spot on.